Last week was a torrid week for us as we realized we were thin on funds and our build's slow progress could spell financial problems for us. Then, to compound these issues, I messed up measurements for a foam cutout for my equipment storage. What did go right was our gas installation, and our dashboard mould was almost complete. This week that dash mould takes a step in the wrong direction as things once again slow down. One of the guys nearly sets the workshop on fire, and I also hope to have found a way to power my 12-volt vehicle aircon with 220 volts. All this and so much more in episode 83 of A Dream Called MERAAI.
Before we start this week's insert, I really just want to thank all of you for the messages of support after the last insert. Where one has been feeling very desperate, and I realized I'm not alone. I realized a lot of you guys and women out there are in the same boat as we are, and that this is a major undertaking and a huge drain on you both emotionally and financially. So thank you. Your words of support mean the world to me. It's fuel for us to keep on going, and we will keep on going. What we do have is that Bram has now said to me he wants to put his head on a block and say he can be done by August, which shifts it out by another 3 months, but we'd rather have it done properly, not rush things, just get it done. So yeah, all right, all the schmaltz out the way, let's get down to some building a motorhome.
Let's begin at MERAAI's rear end, where Smoke and John has been hard at work treating the exposed steel with a sealer.
So what Smoke and John is busy doing now is a final coat of this rust protection, because we all know rust is a huge issue and a big enemy. So we're making pretty sure everything is totally sealed, and then we start installing all the interior paneling.
The birch ply panels have all been painted and are lining up to be installed. However, when Smoke and John started to try and secure the panels into our sleeping area, he ran into a spot of bother.
One would think that securing the side panels to the inside will be like poof easy, but no, not so much, because there's a slight curve.
As usual, the tall chain smoke and skinny guy's description of the problem was easy to follow. Not.
Oh, banana shape.
Yeah?
You can't exactly use a jack, you don't want to push a hole right through the wood.
Yeah. So it's an actual curve.
Yeah. And you're going to need 3 jacks, or 4, or 5.
What John was trying to tell us is that he thought about using car jacks to push the panels into place, but that was a bad idea. Instead, he had to insert these supports until the Sikaflex, which is the black stuff that acts as a glue, sets.
This stuff is the acoustics, which Bram has now lined our gas compartment with. So that's for the geyser as well as the bottle. They've all been lined with this stuff, which is a good insulator, a good protector, and those boxes are going to be totally sealed from the interior of the vehicle. So if there's any gas leakage, it cannot get inside.
I was busy getting shots of our freshly sealed geyser compartment when I moved around MERAAI and I saw one of the guys in a panic as smoke rose from a vehicle he was working on.
A little bit of sports here this morning. One of the oaks is busy working with a blowtorch on that vehicle behind me, and the thing caught alight. So there was a bit of a panic of people rushing around trying to find water to put a little fire out. And it's like close to MERAAI, so yeah.
A little too close to MERAAI for comfort, but all was under control. What is not so under control and is fast becoming a serious handbrake to the speed that we can continue our build is my ongoing frustration with the fiberglass department.
Okay, there's 2 things here that I don't like seeing. Number 1 is a very empty, quiet fiberglass workstation. That's not good. The other thing is what has happened to the front of the mold of the dashboard. This is after it's been painted. So I think that needs looking at. Something has gone wrong. Yeah, I'll have to, when Andre does eventually pitch up, I will need to find out what is going on here.
Only when Andre arrived to do some work was I able to find out how the dash will be sorted out.
Okay, so Andre was just telling me those bumps on the front of the mold, he needs to fill that up with a bit of body filler. Then what happens, he makes the fiberglass mold. Then the fiberglass mold is the mold that is used to make the dashboard. So there's still two more stages to go. So he's got to sort out that those few little bumps.
I was relieved to see that Andre had started to patch up the damaged mold. And hopefully we can get this dashboard made within the next week or so. Meanwhile, we have also discovered that we need to do some steel cutting in order to make our gearbox fit into the hole to the clutch assembly.
The guys have run into a bit of a challenge on the engine here to secure the gearbox, and it's because where the drive shaft thingy comes out of the gearbox, there's a big fitting around it, and that is about 5 mils bigger than the hole that goes into where our clutch is. So we need to remove 5 millimeters of this steel of around this casing, and that steel is like mama steel. So our engine Pete has got some serious cutting to do.
The mount was removed and an attempt to cut the steel was a flop.
The guys tried using their cutter to cut that circle bigger, but it's just the steel's too thick. So there's some other character, Billy, is coming along. He's going to take it away. He's got I don't know what he's going to do it.
So another week passes that our engine sits idly, not idling by. Another one of the big challenges we have faced is how to power our 12-volt air conditioner using 220 volts when we are in campsites with electricity. We may have found the solution.
Alrighty, a bit of news regarding power for my aircon. The aircon I've got, the Herrick, is a 12 volt, and which is great. It's fine when we're traveling. But I also wanted to be able to use it when we were offshore power. The problem was finding a power supply that would convert 220 to 12 and push out 80 amps. 80 amps being the issue. Well, enter this baby, which I got off Amazon UK. And a good friend of mine in the UK helped me out by getting it to South Africa, so we can now power our aircon when we are running off shore power. And for me, that's huge. And I know online there's been a lot of debate about it locally, guys saying it just can't be done. Well, I'm hoping this gadget will help us do it.
We will need to do some tests to see if this little device can do the job. If it does, we will be needing our ice whiskey and cold wine to celebrate, all of which will be stored in this setup that Smoke and John has almost completed, and it will live in its own little compartment. In January this year, I introduced you to a guy who was going to be doing the auto electrics on MERAAI. I paid him 50% of his fee up front, the balance payable on completion of the work. I'm sad to say that once again a local tradesman has let us down. It seems as though he was a bad omen after all. Unreliable and just keeps ducking and diving and avoiding both mine and Brahm's phone calls. We decided to cut our losses and search for a new auto electrician before we start on the important installation of our electronics. I am embarrassed by the consistently bad service delivered by so many of these guys on the lower south coast of KwaZulu-Natal. No pride in their work and zero business ethics.
And another week has passed and another episode has passed. Another episode where I did not see as much happening as I would have liked, but I am calm and I am chilled and we are going to move forward. I do need to see more movement on this fiberglass front. It is so important. You can see there's not even a nose there, there's not a dashboard in. I have been told next week that engine will go in. I know I've been saying it now for about a month, but apparently it will happen. When it's in, we need that dash because we need to put the steering in and we need to start working on the whole drivetrain. That's critical stuff. I'm going to end this insert with some pictures. These are incredibly powerful, poignant works of art by two Ukrainians, and they're just showing the lost souls and the impact that this war has had on Ukraine as a nation. And it's heartbreaking stuff. I don't know what's going to happen when it's going to end, because the economic impact, we're feeling it now and it's biting hard. But yeah, that's it. So let's move on, and we must all just keep our chins up. We all have to keep strong. Thank you for the support. I really, really appreciate it. And look after yourselves and keep safe.
Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You will find us under A Dream Called MERAAI. Until next time, keep your dreams alive.